Let's check out Taskmaster Issue 2, Taskmaster vs. Hyperion. Where we last left off, Commander Hill was murdered and somebody's trying to frame the Taskmaster. So the Taskmaster had a bounty on his head, and one of those people going after him was the Black Widow. So Nick Fury saves the Taskmaster's ass. In return, he wants to find out who framed him, who killed Commander Hill, so he wants to investigate the last project Hill was working on called the Rubicon Trigger. But for him to access this machine or whatever, there's a chair that has a special kinetic signature of 3 different spies, and Taskmaster's the only dude that can replicate people's mannerisms, so he needs him to replicate these 3 spies. And the only problem is these are the 3 top spies in the world, and they're surrounded by some of the dangerous people in the world. The story starts off where you see Phil Coulson getting out of a cab. So we get a mini flashback where you see the Taskmaster and Nick Fury planning their first mark, and their first mark obviously is Phil Coulson. And you know, Nick Fury is telling the Taskmaster that him and Phil Coulson were cool back in the days, and Taskmaster wants to know what happened to you guys have a falling out, and Nick pretty much tells him that nah, but you know, Deadpool killed this guy, shot him in the chest, and he ended up dead, and somehow he's alive. And all these events transpire during this series called Secret Empire. Getting back to the story, Phil Coulson walks in his local comic shop, and I'm assuming Phil Coulson is a comic nerd like me. So Phil Coulson goes on and on with the comic book clerk about how awesome the Squadron Supreme comic is. And for those people who don't know who the Squadron Supreme is, the Squadron Supreme pretty much is a team that Marvel made to pretty much spit in DC Comics' face. They're the fake Justice League. So Phil Coulson tries to convince the comic book clerk that really doesn't care how great the Squadron Supreme comic is. And he talks to the guy next to him and asks him, hey buddy, who's your favorite comic book team in Marvel? And the guy answers Alpha Flight. And that's a lot of fourth wall breaking, but pretty much Alpha Flight is one of those teams back in the day that no one liked like that. They had a small following, but nobody really was an Alpha Flight fan like that. So Phil Coulson was like, Alpha Flight? And he realized something is up. So he goes to press his dude and he's like, yo, where you from, cuz? So Phil Coulson isn't taking any chances with this Alpha Flight fan, so he calls in for backup. So the Alpha Flight fan was a Taskmaster, and somehow, someway, this dude had enough time to change his clothes, be in full gear, and punch this guy simultaneously in the face. Phil Coulson is about to make a call on his smartwatch. The Taskmaster is about to lay the smackdown on Phil Coulson, but before he lays the knockout blow, Phil Coulson says the name Hyperion. And once the Taskmaster hears the name Hyperion, he's like, oh shit, and he goes running through the streets like a friggin' track star. Unfortunately for the Taskmaster, the Hyperion can fly at Mach speed, so it doesn't matter how fast Taskmaster runs, he's gonna get caught. Remember when I said the Squadron Supreme was the fake Justice League? Well, Hyperion is the fake Superman, and Marvel doesn't give a rat's ass about covering up that they copied DC's Superman. Hyperion pretty much tells the Taskmaster, stay down or I'm gonna put you down. So the Taskmaster has no chance in hell in beating Hyperion, because Hyperion pretty much has the same powers as Superman, literally. That's not gonna stop the Taskmaster. The Taskmaster throws his shit at Hyperion. Hyperion just blocks it and decides to give the Taskmaster a first class grade A ass whooping. Hyperion tells this guy, hey listen man, you're not on my level, surrender. And the Taskmaster throws down some type of smoke bomb, flash bang grenades, and all he's doing is pissing off Hyperion even more. So the Taskmaster comes up with a great idea to shoot somebody who's invulnerable with arrows. So the fake Superman uses a fake heat vision to pretty much vaporize the arrows. So the Taskmaster now pulls out his sword, to try to fight this fake Superman. So the Taskmaster's on the brink of death, and Hyperion is telling this guy, you crossed the line going after Phil Coulson. The Taskmaster makes one last desperate play with an arrow to shoot Hyperion, and he totally misses the shot. So we get another mini flashback with Nick Fury and the Taskmaster, and they're anticipating Hyperion to show up. So what does Nick Fury have? Pretty much he has some fake kryptonite. Cause what's a fake Superman without fake kryptonite, right? So the Taskmaster is almost dead and he mumbles something, boom. And Hyperion wants to know, boom? And he says, no, boomerang. So the Taskmaster earlier shot Hyperion with a boomerang arrow. That's why he missed. So the arrow came back around and probably was laced with some type of fake kryptonite for the fake Superman, and it leaves Hyperion useless. So Hyperion is down and the Taskmaster proceeds to straight violate Hyperion. This dude blacks out and he's about to kill the fake Superman, but Nick Fury talked the Taskmaster off the ledge and he let Hyperion live. So Nick Fury is asking the Taskmaster, why the fuck did you not shoot him with the arrow in the beginning? Why did you take such a beat down? And the Taskmaster saying he wanted to play possum, he wanted to let Hyperion think he could beat him, and then he collapses and Nick Fury picks him up. So we go to the Black Widow and it looks like she's found Nick Fury's hideout. She knows where Nick Fury is hiding the Taskmaster, and she also knows their next move, that he's going after these spies. So she's gonna be one step ahead of them, and the comic ends there. I know this comic is gonna get a lot of comic readers upset. How can the Taskmaster take on and beat Hyperion, but is afraid of the Black Widow? But listen, I really enjoy this comic. I like the comedy in this comic, and I can't wait for the next issue. If you like my content, rate, comment, subscribe. Take it easy. Later.